From the many days we have been hearing of the Trump tariffs. The tariffs are so high that it has actually made people wonder that whether the US and India trade relations are going to be same or not. Welcome to Plutus IAS. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic of Trump tariff. But now we are not going to discuss it in the same context as everyone is discussing it. For example, that how they are going to impact the trade, how they are going to impact the economy of the different world. But today we'll relate the Trump tariff to the global climate action. Do you really think that the Trump tariffs are going to impact the global climate initiatives which have been taken by different countries? Whether you talk about the Paris Agreement, whether you talk about the nationally determined contributions of every country will be impacted by the tariff. Obviously, the answer can be mixed, but according to the experts, this has been shown that the tariffs which the Trump has imposed, and they're also talking about escalating reciprocal tariffs that are further going to exceed in the coming months, are going to impact hugely on the initiative by the different countries towards the clean energy supply. So USA is highly dependent on Asian countries, for example, China and Southeast Asian countries for their imports. If we talk about the different components used in electric vehicles and different technology which are based on the renewable energy resources that use lithium battery ions, or for example they use different semiconductors, they are highly importing it from the China and Southeast Asian country. So directly and indirectly that is going to disrupt the whole supply chain. Not only that, it will also impact the initiative by the different countries, as they have already tried to keep the resources, try to keep the whole cost of the investment minimal so that the usage by the end consumers can be done easily. If the cost of the production is going to be so high in the solar energy, then the acceptability by the people are also going to be less. Depending upon the purchasing power of the people, it will further add on to their distress, as already the people are going through the major economic issues like inflation. This is the first time the tariff has been applied? Not really, because amidst this stifle among the different nations, how USA has responded to the situation. Peter Navarro, the counselor to the President of United Nations, has set India as the tariff Maharaja or the king of tariff, because we are already imposing a lot of tariffs on the agricultural products in order to save our livelihood, because as we are already imposing a lot of tariffs on the agriculture products in order to safeguard our agriculture sector and allied activities. But what next? If we are thinking of the USA as a superpower and they are putting and imposing so much of tariffs on the different countries, whether there is going to be a shift in the geopolitics or whether there is going to be a shift. Now, the question is whether we are going to stop our progress towards the clean environment, the global action commitments that every country has taken. Are we going to stop because of the tariff? Likely no, because there is a shift which is going to come in the geopolitics dynamic. Reason being, because we are no longer dependent and we are no longer eyeing on US for the dependency. As you can see, there are a lot of movement going in G20, G7 and BRICS. We are no longer the passive victims of the trade tariffs, but we are shifting it and building our own economy through the deficit financing or through building and investing in the green technology. The green technology is something that one actually needs to put in, because if you talk about the overhaul of the EU fiscal policies that also focus on the climate changes. Similarly, the Germans have also focused on making a budget which focuses more on giving more of heat to the green investments rather than the regular investments. If you see the different investments done by the different countries in their green infrastructure, the trade protectionism is not good for the climate progress. But countries are not stopping here. They're investing in green infrastructure, they're investing their whole deficit financing so that they can focus more on the green technologies. Not only that, apart from the exchange of the green technologies, they're investing in overhauling of their whole budgets. For example, EU's fiscal rules have changed tremendously if we talk about the green climate actions that they are about to change in their country. Apart from that, the Germans have also taken a similar path after seeing the different countries. Now, one needs to set the examples for how, despite of the different trade protectionism across the countries, one has to stay very rigid when it comes to the green climate actions and the global climate strategies. We know that the kind of the momentum which different countries were taking amidst of everything fine would definitely give them a jerk, but still one needs to pivot to a different business model or diversify their markets in order to stay calm in this situation. Thank you.